Tyra Banks is suing Netflix because she got a bad edit. I mean, girl, please. You almost pioneered the practice.
We know you're a lesbian.
She barely spoke to me on the show.
24 cycles of you chewing confessionals footage and spitting out villain edits should have made you wise to their tactics, no?
You remember the story with Shandi?
But hey, if you were also desperate to fix your reputation after seeming like the world's biggest ice queen, wouldn't you fight back with a lawsuit?
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you?
I'll never get over that clip. Hello, I'm Wilco. This is Rehashed. If you like trash, mess, and drama, this is the place for you to gobble it up. If you don't know the documentary in question involved in this lawsuit, it's called Reality Check, and it was a deep dive into the reality TV show America's Next Top Model, and the doco itself was made by the same team behind American Manhunt, Osama Bin Laden. And my question to the team, which doco was darker for you to dig into?
Check our pulse.
The series did well and was a #1 show on the week of its release on Netflix, and a lot of us who are obsessed with the law of ANTM couldn't wait to hear what Jay, Miss J, Nigel, and Tyra had to say about one of the most controversial reality shows of our generation. And the look back was dark. Way darker than I ever remembered. It all took off again because during COVID, people were rewatching and binging the series for the first time. And for some of us on second look, there was so much off about this show that is very much of the time. I don't know, like making a contestant pose as a corpse on a bed hours after learning a friend of theirs had died from an overdose, pressuring major dental work on a couple of models.
Look at my teeth.
In fact, giving one of them a basic ultimatum, you'll be gone unless you close the natural gap in your teeth.
So if I decide to keep you, are you going to get your gap closed?
Then a few cycles later, wanting to widen the gap of another participant. Oh, not this one.
We are actually going to switch your ethnicities.
And swapping ethnicities. I mean, I laugh because even in 2009, the second time they did this, we really knew that painting black or brown face or giving someone Asian features was wrong, did we not?
What the fuck is that? They deadass did blackface.
But the moment the Tyra lawsuit is actually focused on is what happened in Milan with Shandi. One of the models, Shandi Sullivan, was a 21-year-old Walgreens employee from Kansas, and she was on cycle 2 of the series. Her whole storyline was this ugly duckling turned stunning swan transformation, like in any of the movies of the time when like a nerdy girl just drops her hair out of a bun and takes her glasses off and shakes her hair and everyone goes, wow, she's so hot now. Guys, has she always been this hot? She was. She just had glasses on and her hair was up. But with Shandi, they did transform her, I guess, like a little bit more.
We are going to make you a platinum blonde.
And that is a huge win compared to serious dental work. And you would think that just by being a platinum blonde, that would open more doors for her. But no, Shandi still had to work hard and learn fast.
I've never seen a runway walk that bad in my life.
And that makes sense because she never thought about being a model, but her boyfriend back at home, Eric, convinced her to apply. Oh, we loved her so much. Shandi also, like all of us, has her demons, sharing that she never felt loved by her family, and she admitted that she'd learned so much on this show compared to the rest of her life. So such a short space of time, she'd really picked up and evolved a lot.
Fabulously thin, your designer's dream.
Oh my goodness. Imagine hearing that. Look how thin you are. What a designer's dream. Talk about reinforcing the dark voices in your head. Shandi makes it to the finals, and what a dream to be doing go-sees in Milan, Italy. Shandi had never been out of the country, and go-sees, this is where they go and see brands and designers that might book them as a model. And they got to these bookings via Vespa, driven by cute young Italian men. And those men were invited back to the model's apartment for some drinks after a very big day. It escalated.
I was hammered. I think I had 2 bottles of wine by myself.
Yeah, so they're all in the spa and things are really getting heated. And I guess you can figure out where it's going if you haven't seen it before when you hear the episode title, which is The Girl Who Cheated. Clearly, this wasn't really focused on the modeling aspect of the show. Shandi only remembers bits and pieces of what happened that night because she was so intoxicated.
I was blacked out for a lot of it. I didn't even feel sex happening. I just knew it was happening.
And let this sink in. Production filmed all of this. And not one person decided to step in and say, hey, Shandi, can we just have a quick chat? I just need to make sure that you're okay. Do you know exactly what's happening right now? Like, really, I think you could sense that she was out of it. Not one fellow castmate or production member decided to intervene. I know it was in the wild, wild west days of reality TV where they had no idea what they were doing, but like nobody questioned this was happening. Like that's insane to me. Ken Mock, the executive producer, this guy, alongside Tyra, said they treated the show like a documentary and they told the girls straight up that everything was going to be filmed, good, bad, ugly.
No matter what happens, we're going to document all of that.
Sure, but you still have a duty of care, right? There has to be more of a moral compass here, Ken, when it comes to the things that you create, right? Ugh. Dickhead. Watching the doco back, Ken comes off way worse. Knob. We're told that the production rules around the bathroom are that if you're in there alone, a camera can't go in there and follow you and film. But if you go in there with someone else, cameras are allowed in. So Shandi in the shower with the random Italian was free game for them. They filmed it all. I know for all of us, there's a level of personal responsibility. And like when it comes to the cheating on her Kansas boyfriend, that's one thing. But not to check on her when she was so heavily intoxicated is gross behavior. This is where Tyra gets mad. In the doco, Tyra is asked if she remembers the incident, to which she does, but they at least make it seem like it takes her a beat to recall it. And we don't really see much from Tyra at all in regards to this subject. Like there has to be more than her just trying to think for a little bit and then pass the buck.
I'm not head of story. That's Ken Mock.
Well, you're an executive producer, so you see all the episodes before anything drops. I call bullshit on that. You would be also across this shit at least the next day after it happens. So you might not have been able to stop it at the time, but you could have said to the crew, why did this happen? Don't let this happen again. Instead, Tyra sits down with the girls in Milan and she talks about cheating.
I had one guy that cheated on me in Milano.
Her experiences with it, and she asks Shandi specifically her relationship status and if she's open with her boyfriend back in Kansas, knowing what happened the night before. It's really cruel shit. Whatever you think about the way that the documentary's edited, we can all agree that from Tyra, fucked up. You're an EP. You could have said no to that. Like, I'm not going to shame this girl for what she did even more. And they film Shandi doing everything, like going to the doctor to get checked up after this, calling the Italian man to ask if he's been checked for STDs, and confessing to her boyfriend back in Kansas what she'd done.
I can't be with someone that cheated on me.
And we can all admit that it's car crash television. So of course we can't look away, but that doesn't mean the actions of production were above board at all. Production also claimed that they scaled the storyline back in the show, and that's only because of the nip slip from the Super Bowl with Janet and JT, and that brought in new broadcast rules. So pull the other one, Ken. Oh, and along with that, this is the only other thing that Tyra says in this storyline.
But I did become a master editor.
Which makes her sound way more calculated. Oh, and Tyra goes further on her self-titled daytime talk show. She brought Shandi on to dig it all up again for entertainment fodder. So it's clear that Tyra will do anything for her own gain. Doesn't matter who gets hurt. All right, back to the lawsuit. So when it comes to this Shandi situation, we know that we've seen Tyra struggle to remember, that's what it looked like, pass the buck, and then say that she's a master editor. Doesn't sound great. And now she's filed a defamation lawsuit against Netflix and the directors of the documentary, claiming they stripped down hours of footage to create a false narrative. Tyra claims that she was interviewed for 3.5 hours. Those interviews were cut down to just 16 minutes and manipulated to support a false and defamatory narrative unrelated to what she actually expressed. Her lawyers also said the accountability Miss Banks took ended up on the cutting room floor. It was there, but viewers never were given the opportunity to see it. They also make a really big claim in regards to Shandi's story specifically. Defendants edited the Netflix series to make it appear that Ms. Banks knew she was being asked about a sexual assault and was intentionally trying to evade the topic, contending that Tyra hadn't been told or even asked about the assault during the entire interview. And now Banks is seeking damages, including loss of future business opportunities, loss of business income, other compounding losses that will be shown at trial, and an injunction to bar the use of her image in connection with the docuseries soundtrack that was also released as an album. I didn't know that was a thing, but I looked it up on Spotify and there it is. Who knew? So she wants that removed, but she's okay with this being on Netflix forever. Tyra allegedly also only got to see the docuseries a day before its release. She was never called for fact-checking, nor was she given the chance to respond to the accusations made by everyone else in those episodes. And you might be thinking, Tyra, a bit of time's gone. You're just bringing it back up in the news cycle. But her lawyers did ask for the extended footage back in March, to which production refused to give them. And I would be very interested to see what is in this footage, because it seems to me that she didn't say much about the Shandi incident at all. I watched it back today and really there's nothing in it. She's not really saying anything. I know Tyra is unhinged, but it seems like really bad business for her to not take ownership for her part in the show, even if she's just doing it to placate people. Apparently she told production before she was interviewed that no questions or subjects were off limits, even though she did actually refuse to answer some. And I don't know about you, but we just didn't hear enough from Tyra in this series. My first thought when I saw the headlines and read the lawsuit, I was like, shut up, Tyra, just own it and move on. Because when I originally watched the docuseries, the second it was dropped, I was shocked at how little she took ownership over everything. So there has to be stuff missing from this interview that is important, right?
And so I say to Kenya, boo-boo, I am so sorry.
And still, sometimes it feels like Tyra doesn't actually have any compassion or regret. Like she's just saying the words because she knows she has to say the words. She also doesn't help herself with her online presence that seems loco at the best of times. Like she moved to Australia and she's been popping up here all around the place because she came here to open her first ice cream shop called Smars and Dream. She loves the Smars. A shop that is, according to her lawyers, being review bombed because of this documentary specifically, and I'm sure some of that is true, but also going around and saying that you have created hot ice cream probably also has something to do with it.
I am talking about hot ice cream.
Actually, I think that could be the real issue before you go blame the doc. Tyra is seeking a jury trial as well, and who knows if this case is even going to get that far. I'm sure they'll just settle out of court, but I'm not sure that's going to help you, Tyra, when this video, along with many others, exist on the internet.
You know when Santa Claus tells you that he gonna come down your chimney and he wants you to leave some cookies and grain on that thing for him to eat? Do you know what he doing? Child, he ain't biting that cookie. He ain't sipping that cream. He taking a bowl from your cabinet, from your joinery, y'all call it, and he putting it on the thing. He putting a little bit of cookie, he putting a little bit of that milk, and he mixing it up, and he put it in your freezer. And he trying to make it taste like Santa's pies, and it tastes like Santa's shit.
Something that's also telling from the, what was she doing? Something that's also telling from the documentary is the distance from the people that she built the show with. Like, it's not a glowing report from co-stars Jay Manuel, Miss J, and Nigel Barker. Oh, and when Tyra is confronted by talking about Jay Manuel and their fallout directly,
I should call Jay. I don't want to do this here. Yeah, but he's a special man.
Quick update, Jay has confirmed that that call from Tyra never came, and apparently she's always had his number and decided never to use it. But we can't expect that they'd all be close after the three of them got shanked.
Tyra sent me flowers, and then I was fired 5 days later.
And because I like to be fair and balanced with the trash, mess, and drama, there are also people who call Jay Manuel a clout chaser, who has no expertise in any industry, like Kelly Catrone, who was a judge for a hot second, and you'd also know her as the mean boss from The Hills. In her lawsuit against Netflix, Tyra also responds to the hurtful allegations that she never reached out or visited Miss J after his stroke. Had the producers informed Miss Banks that part of the Netflix series narrative would include Miss J saying that Miss Banks never visited him in the hospital, Miss Banks would have explained that she's been living in Australia for 2.5 years. Apparently, if she'd been given warning, Tyra could have produced the receipts of her trying to get in touch with Miss J, and apparently she eventually did. They shared voice notes, pics, and phone conversations as recently as Christmas 2025.
She just sent me a text that she wants to come and visit me, but no. Not yet.
And along with her co-stars, there have been so many models from all the seasons that have spoken out over the years.
I read that Tyra Banks is suing Netflix because she didn't like being edited. Bitch. For real, girl. Like...
With this defamation lawsuit, it requires Tyra to prove not just that the documentary was false or unfair, but that the defendant either knew the defamatory statement was false or acted with reckless disregard for its truth. And I think this is where the raw footage of the interview is really going to be telling. But defamation is really hard to prove, especially for public figures. They rarely win these kind of lawsuits. Once a plaintiff is designated as a public official or a public figure, their chance of winning their lawsuit drops dramatically. I don't know what's going to happen with this lawsuit, or if it'll even get that far, like to trial.
You have no idea what we have planned for Cycle 25.
There's also no news on Cycle 25 that was teased by Tyra in the documentary because no network has given it the green light. So it just might sound like a little bit of Tyra Banks bullshit. What I do know is that hot ice cream isn't a thing, Tyra. That's an oxymoron, babes. Hey, so do you think the documentary makers were out to get Tyra? Let me know in the comments below. And let me know also if you and I have gone all the way in this video. Put ATW, put it down there so I know that you watch and you're a sweet baby angel. Plus, make sure you have liked this video and possibly even, I don't know, hyped it. You know, maybe you could. Come back tomorrow for another trash, mess, and drama fix, or click one of the videos in front of you right now.